welcome back on Bernama. We are back with this interview. Now, based on June 18 article, if the English language is a virus, it is easily the most potent with the ability to spread very fast. Now, well, at least that's how the British High Commissioner to Malaysia, Charles Hay, described one of the most spoken languages in the world. Now, Hay said it is the fastest growing language in human history. 1 in every 4 of the global population, or some 1.75 billion people around the globe, can communicate in English. Now, according to job search platform Jobstreet.com's Job Outlook report last year, the second reason for unemployment of fresh graduates is their poor command of the English language. Now, Malaysia's English proficiency, which used to be rather high according to international standards, seems to have decreased and slipped over the years. Now, according to the annual Education First English Proficiency Index, Malaysia's position decreased from the 22nd place in 2018 to 26th place in 2019. Now, Malaysia is not alone though, as more than half of the Asian countries seem to have dropped in their English proficiency last year. Now, joining me in the studio is Sean Chia. He is the CEO of KLC Education Group, and we are discussing mastering English at a young age. Hello and welcome, Sean. How are you doing?
Hi, Eileen. I'm fine.
Thank you for joining us in the studio. Now let's talk about English. Now, as I mentioned earlier, we have some statistics talking about how the proficiency of English has reduced and decreased in Malaysia, and Malaysia is not the only Asian country that's suffering this issue. And here you're bringing us a potential solution. We're talking about mastering the language at a young age. Now, the Malaysia Education Blueprint target is for 70% of students to pass English with a credit by 2025, but to date, less than 30% have done so. Now, why do you think this situation is happening?
Well, we look at when we want to identify the solution, let's look at what could have contributed the problems. There are a few reasons that they are not doing well in this language. It's because most of them, in fact, they start to learn the language at pretty late. And, research shows that it's good to learn a foreign language before the age of 8.
Right.
Yeah.
Because most of us, we pick up the language as we listen to it as we were young.
Right.
Besides just, actual learning, isn't it?
Right. And also, Malaysian, they usually learn the English in a very traditional way. In fact, we start during a preschool, they learn through memorizing words.
Right. A for apple, B for ball.
Right. They learn how to pronounce. They learn to read the words, and after that, they have this group of words for them to practice spellings, and that goes into memorizations.
Right.
And of course, when you go through memorizations, there are so many English words. There are easily 200 over thousands English words.
Right.
So if it's very challenging for kids to memorize all these words.
Right.
And also the other one is in Malaysia, we have to learn Bahasa Malaysia.
Yes.
When you have Bahasa Malaysia, which using the same letter name,
same alphabet.
Yes, same alphabet,
right.
But it's totally different pronunciation.
Right.
So kids starts to confuse. And also at preschool, usually if their preschool setup is, teacher is going to cover English subject and Bahasa, the children tends to confuse.
When we mix languages.
Yes.
Right.
It's whether it's A for apple or A untuk ayam. Sometimes they confuse.
Right.
They'll normally recognize by which teachers. They don't go by which subject. They simply don't understand. Right. Okay. Which language.
So that's one of the contributing factors.
Yes, one of the contributing factors, and by memorizing words, and of course we have this different mother tongue. The Chinese will go to a Chinese school. So
yes.
So when they memorize words, they memorize the meaning. And that makes them, when you go to English language, they simply tends to translate,
yes.
English from their mother tongue.
Right.
So sometimes we hear, people mention like, can you open the aircon? Can you
right.
open the light instead of,
switching it on?
Right. It's basically direct translate. Like you eat what, you go where,
Yes, and we do this a lot in Malaysia because we're multiracial, we're multilingual, and because we're translating from another language, and the grammar goes haywire, topsy-turvy because of that. Now,
right.
So based on this, what is the best age for kids to learning? Is there a specific age for this best to happen?
In fact, it is as early as possible. Okay. As early as possible. Right. Children pick up language since they are a baby. So
Even in the womb, I heard.
yeah, but basically because English as a probably second or third language, so
Yep.
so it is good to teach them to learn to read first. But many doesn't realize that there are many skills that a child can pick up through the simple act of readings.
Right.
Right. So through reading, they tends to they gets to develop the comprehension skill that they know how to use vocabulary, yes, sentence structure. So there are many benefits. So it's good to pick up reading at young age as early as possible. But preferably 3 or 4.
Right. So how does KLC help kids master the language at a young age? What are the methodologies? There must be.
Right. So we're talking about the learning to read is very crucial.
Yeah.
So in KLC, we developed a program called Master Key.
Master Key.
Yes, Master Key.
Okay.
You need the key to
Right.
unlock the world,
To unlock, yes.
the knowledge, right?
Right.
So this is our flagship program, a Master Key programs, which helps students learn to read.
Right.
All right, learn to read and identify sound. How to decode and encode the words. Through a very simple, fun, and interactive way.
Okay.
So it's very important. You need to cultivate the interest first.
Okay.
If you want them to learn something, you have to make it easy.
Right. And fun.
Anything is tough, people give up easily.
Yeah.
So make them feel easy, learn through simple way, in a very structured way. And once they complete the Master Key programs, then they'll embark into another program called Treasure Box.
Treasure Box.
Treasure Box, right?
Wow.
So they need the key first.
Right.
Once they obtain the key, then it's time for them to unlock the treasures.
Right.
Right. So in Treasure Box, we have these 4 skills. We cover listening, speaking, writings, and listening, speaking, writing.
Right.
All right. So these 4 skills will enable them to learn English in a very structured way.
Right.
And of course, and it also in line with the CEFR, and the CEFR is called the Common European Framework.
Right. Okay.
Right. And this is in line with the government, and government is going to change the exams structure align with CEFR. Like UPSR, PT3,
Right.
SPN. It's going to align.
So we're adopting all
Yes,
that.
we are adopting it. And if they start at young age, and they'll be able to embark into this Treasure Box program.
Right.
So we have students, they complete they achieve the, they have this proficiency from A2, from A1, A2 to, towards C1 and C2. So we
Right.
have students as young as 8 years old, they already achieve a B1 CFR proficiency, which is similar, equivalent to SPN levels.
Wow, that's really amazing. But it sounds like it's a lot of fun because it seems like it's a gamification, it's an adventure, so they have something to look forward to. Now tell us about the Best Use of Technology Award that you got from SOBA, the Star Media Group. How do you merge technology to enhance this experience?
Well, in fact, I'm someone who really, I would say, tech-oriented. I like technology. I like to look at numbers. Well, we use Facebook to manage our companies.
Okay.
We have our internal portal systems to help parents to schedule classes.
So is this how you guys managed to during the MCO? Because during the MCO, you cannot attend physical classes.
Yeah, this is part of it. We before MCO, in fact, we have these devices, and parents have apps to access to.
Even in the physical class.
Yeah. Before, they can do scheduling classes. They can check what's the class balance, and also we have this Master Key e-learning program, which helps the teachers to do this online assessment for them. Other than the physical class, I think in this digitalized world, physical class is simply inadequate. You need to make use of what the online can provide to them, so that while they're attending the physical class, with these online assessments, and even we have this online exam spelling assessment, we as HQ, we are able to monitor student progress, track their progress, and parent will be able to know their progress as well.
So what's the speed? Say, for example, if a child goes in and really doesn't know how to speak English, how proficient can they get within a certain period?
Well, we have a pretty good success story that children, if they start our program as young as 3 years old, within 2 years, they will be able to, their reading skills, they will reach to, they can read like primary 5 books, or even they can read, adults motivations books. So they can reach to that levels.
Okay, that sounds very impressive.
The most important is to decide the right time
Yep.
with the right methods.
Right time, right method, and how do they contact you in order for them to do that? So we'll go to the KLC page. If you want to, of course, send your kids as early as possible. There's no age that's too early to learn a language, isn't it, Sean?
Right. There's no. I mean, of course, in KLC, we actually benchmark it. We start from 4 years old.
4 years old.
If they are able to learn independently, you know, they can start as young as 3 years old.
Okay.
Right.
So it's all dependent. Some children are able to learn slightly earlier. Some children by 4, you will accept.
Basically, most children are able to learn. It's always the parents, you know, whether the parents are willing to, you know, let go, you know, let them mix with others.
Let them go on an adventure.
Yeah.
It's an adventure. You get your master key, you go get and you go into a treasure box, and it sounds like fun times for them. And
Right.
like you said, you know, it's about making it easy.
But
And making it
usually
fun.
you see kids have this separation anxiety in the
Right.
beginning, so it takes some time for them to adapt to new environment, teachers. So it really depends on whether the parent willing to, you know, take the tough time in the beginning. But you will see you enjoy the fruit later on when you see a child able to read independently.
So the separation anxiety is the parents, not the children.
Most of the time, it's the parents, not the children. You know,
Not the
parents are concerned whether, you know, so you can see that they will always ask the kids whether you want to go,
Right.
you like the class or not.
Right.
So you're prompting them to say no. Most kids will say no, right?
Right.
Yes.
But what are the sizes of your classes? How many from a teacher to a student ratio?
Right. I mean, good question. We in fact we have very small class setup. Maximum is 4 students.
Right.
4 students.
Only?
Yeah.
That's good.
Maximum. So we teach according to their progress.
Right.
We don't let the children follow our progress.
Okay.
What happened in the current situation is students follow teachers' progress. Children follow the school progress.
Okay.
But you see, every kids learn different. They have different learning curve.
Okay.
Right. So if you have a tailored program that can tailor to their learning speed, that will help them really master everything.
Okay.
It's just a matter of time. Right.
So it sounds really good. I mean, I would feel really comfortable that I have a one-on-one, almost like a one-on-one.
Almost like what you said. It's
Interaction,
almost
focus.
Yes.
1 to 4. It's a really good ratio.
Right. That's why I mean you can really the teacher can really have enough attention span on each children's.
Are your teachers all trained natural speakers? How do you validate certification-wise?
Right. When we have to look, when we look out for teachers, of course, qualification is one thing. We also look out for their, in terms of their personality. It's very important. They need to be very patient, towards students. So and they will go through a month of training before we actually allow them to teach kids.
Right.
Yeah.
So in terms of physical class, you said it's about 1 to 4. If you go digitally, is it the same?
Well, if we were to go digitally,
Right.
it will be currently it's going to be a 1-to-1.
Right. Oh,
yeah.
okay.
You have to be 1-to-1 at this moment.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is something that was one of the questions. So during MCO, a lot of people actually had to stay home, and a lot of parents struggle because their children are home with them, and they're trying to manage their children.
Right.
What are some of the steps that KLC made to ensure that children still wanted to go to class? Because they're at home, you don't want to go to school. You're not in school, so it's slightly more difficult for them to actually go and do the classes and the courses.
Right. For preschool, for our preschool, I mean, we actually are moving towards online learning, and for the language centers, I think the concern is, while they are unable to attend the physical class, we see that most schools turn it into virtual learning.
Right.
But the problem is, to have a really effective learning, you need to have the material digitalized.
Engaging.
Yes.
Interesting.
If you expect parents to download the materials, print it out, do the exercise, upload it again, the parents feel that they are doing most of the
Yes.
teaching job.
Yes.
That is a problem. We hear feedback from parents. They have to juggle between their works and children's. And
So KLC helps interact that and integrate that.
Yes, we don't really go into virtual learning immediately. We develop some online learning for them to practice. We know that they are tied up with the school virtual learning
Right.
teachers, so we actually give them some practice so that they can do it during their free times. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Sean, for that. We hope that, we have more children being more proficient in English and starting as early as possible in order for them to help us increase our standards back again to the international levels that we want to hit. This was, of course, founder, and we were talking to Sean Chia, CEO of KLC Education Group, talking about mastering English at a young age. And that's all from us at the Midday Update. Thanks for staying with us to the end of the session. Bye for now. It's been a pleasure.